been telling you lot, what I've been telling you lot since the beginning. Since the beginning, I created this channel. All 90 of you lot. Again, keep liking the videos, guys. Please keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Please keep sharing. And thank you so much. 90 on the road to 100. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. Declan Rice, I told you lot, he's coming to Arsenal, man. It's written in the stars. It's there. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into the gossip. There's been so much development over the last few days. I haven't done a sort of transfer gossip or daily view video, and it's crazy. You know, for you to keep up, it's incredible. But anyways, here we are, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Declan Rice, the boy Dex showed us exactly what we need in midfield. Exactly what type of midfielder can come in and do more and better than Xhaka. And just imagine a midfield of Declan Rice, Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard. What are we waiting for, ladies and gentlemen? Arsenal, please, just make it happen. Listen, the prices that are being, or the figures that are being spread out there, I think he's going to go for less. Ultimately, we know that he's rejected lots of contract renewal offers from West Ham. He wants to leave. He's going to leave. It's time to leave. I don't believe it's going to be a case of the Harry Kane 2.0. You know, he's considerably young, 24 years of age, as you can see here. And let's get into it, man. TalkSport. So this is TalkSport stating that West Ham and England midfielder Declan Rice would prefer a summer move to Arsenal, with Newcastle also interested in a 24-year-old. I mean, Newcastle, they're going to pretty much be linked to everyone, but it looks like they've got a system, they've got a strategy that they're approaching the whole situation with in terms of buying players, and I just don't see him going there. You know, they might have Champions League football, which obviously goes in their favour, but Arsenal are going to have Champions League football. As I said, I think for Dex, it's a case of staying in London, staying close to his family, staying close to his friends, his circle. And if you're going to leave, it was only going to be a case of either Chelsea or Arsenal. And it looks like he's choosing Arsenal. The relationship he has with Mikel Arteta, God knows how that started, where that started from, but it looks like there is a relationship there. There's clear respect and admiration one for the other. You know, we've seen them hug it out and all of these things and such things. And yeah, so look, ultimately, we know that Dex is the guy that would improve our squad. Arteta keeps on going on about players that are going to be coming in, need to be players that can improve the squad in an instant, can improve the squad immediately, can come into that squad and make an impact. And I think Declan Rice, even from his previous game 2-2, we drew at their ground. You saw it all to be seen at the London Stadium. You know, he's tenacious. He's, other than the natural talent that he has, he just has that character. He just has that personality about him. And I tell you what, man, I can see Declan Rice coming to Arsenal, and within 3-4 years' time being the Arsenal, maybe even sooner than being the Arsenal captain. I'm not saying anything's going to happen to Martin Odegaard, and I can see Martin Odegaard staying there for the long run, but I feel like Martin Odegaard, if Real Madrid maybe came calling again, promised him a starting berth, would he stay at Arsenal? How loyal, how faithful would he be to Arsenal? You know, we know players like him, when Real Madrid comes calling, they're going to go. But Dex, I'm not saying Dex wouldn't go to a Real Madrid if they came calling, but it's most likely that he will want to become an Arsenal legend, being an English player, an English talent. You know, he will most likely probably embrace it a little bit more than somebody coming from abroad, but it all remains to be seen, as I always say. Moving on, Bayern Munich's 20-year-old Netherlands Ryan Gravenberch is, look, he's been handed out and he's been, you know, taunted out to all sorts of clubs across Europe, and it's just a case of seeing which one is going to take him. His agent is clearly doing the rounds with him, and to keep it real with you, to keep it a buck, I've said it before, I don't know too much about him. Do we need him? If someone knows more about Gravenberch, because he's linked every day, strong rumours linking him to the Premier League. You know, we're not the only team that he's being linked to. He is being linked to more teams, Liverpool in this case. But look, as I said, I don't really know much. Moving on, Barcelona are confident on signing Manchester City's midfielder Ilkay Gundogan, 32, as a free transfer in deal in the summer. And look, man, Barcelona, they just have this thing in it. They're a bit like Real Madrid. Whoever they want, come calling and you go. Even someone as silky and someone as polished as Ilkay Gundogan, I would actually take him just for the experience, and I think he can still play top football at top level. He hasn't looked like he's slowed down whatsoever. So Barcelona, they're gonna do it again. They're gonna probably sign another 10 players and not know how to register them and go through all of these things. They just want the talents, you know. And if they looks like they can just sell it to the player, no matter what the player's ages or where they are in their career, they just go. They want to go. Barcelona comes calling, they go. I think we will see Gundogan sign a free agent deal with Barcelona. Tottenham are set to rival Chelsea for former Barca coach Luis Enrique. Madness. So Chelsea is having talks with Nagelsmann, and Tottenham are having talks with Luis Enrique, or want to have talks with him. I would be real. Luis Enrique going to Tottenham will be a problem, you know. It'll be a problem. And listen, the history of the Tottenham will tell us that we shouldn't be worried if a top elite coach goes there. They've had two that have come in and, won no trophies in the form of Mourinho and in the form of Conte. Luis Enrique is a different type of manager, though. He is an attacking, forward-thinking, progressive manager. From what I've seen and from what I know, he likes to play football on the ground. And he management wise and motivation wise, he looks like he can get quite a lot out of his players. So, but it all remains to be seen. Tottenham, I just feel as though if you're gonna hire out these managers, elite managers, you need to come with everything behind them. You need to come with a whole project, that full backing. Otherwise, it's just gonna be literally hamster wheel for Tottenham again and again and again and again. Former Spurs boss Antonio Conte could be set to join Roma next season with the current manager Jose Mourinho to take over French side PSG. Yeah, so this is something I had a whiz through in the morning as well. I think we could be seeing Mourinho leave Roma at some point. They are. It feels like they're reaching their end of the little journey with Jose Mourinho. Could he make a return to closer shores? Could he take over at PSG? I don't know. PSG, I don't know. It remains to be seen. That one there still got to develop a little bit more. Aston Villa, Everton, and West Ham are all interested in Inter Milan's 28-year-old Argentine forward João Correa. I don't know too much about him. Chelsea will sell Conor Gallagher this summer with a number of Premier League clubs and European clubs interested in midfielder. Do you know what? I don't think Gallagher is good enough for Chelsea ultimately, but he's one of the ones that has tried, and he's fought for the badge. He's probably a Chelsea supporter through and through. He's probably a Chelsea fan. Is that who you want to let go of? I think there's other players that have done much less that you need to prioritize in terms of leaving. If Chelsea's on an angle where they want to recuperate money, then cool, I get it and I understand. But I don't know, man. I feel as though Gallagher's probably one of those players that they shouldn't be looking at getting out of the door as soon as possible. Arsenal have offered Reece Nelson, 23, a new contract, but there remains doubt over his long-term future, with Aston Villa, Fulham, West Ham, Brighton amongst teams interested in signing the English winger. I think Reece will want to stay in the Arsenal setup, in the Arsenal fold. He's comfortable. He's used to it. If he ultimately has to go out to get better footballing time and, just more time on the pitch, he will. But I think he's improving, I think give him maybe another half season, another pre-season with Mikel, and you could see more involvement from him, bearing he curbs these injuries that he keeps on getting all the time. But it remains to see if it is a case of him going out on loan or being essentially, sold permanently, then he will probably choose this time round a Premier League team. Will it be Villa, Fulham, West Ham, Brighton? Looking at London, probably want to stay in London. Depends if West Ham's obviously they look like they're going to stay up. I don't think West Ham is going to be relegated. We could be seeing Reece Nelson do a Joe Willock, or it will be, bearing in mind it's obviously most likely that he will want to stay in London and choose a London club if he is going to leave Arsenal. They are also set to receive, West Ham this is, a fee of about 1.75 million for Besiktas left back Arthur Masuaku, 29, after obligation to buy clause in his loan agreement was triggered. Yeah, I saw this earlier on as well. Masuaku is officially gone to Besiktas permanently, and they're going to get about just shy of 2 mil for that total transfer. Aston Villa set their sights on a summer move for Man City's Kyle Walker, 32, who's out of contract in 2024. I don't think Kyle Walker will potentially stay at City too much longer than now. Then again, with the words recently from Pep in the press conferences, and with Pep, it only ends in one way. The player's gone. The player's gone, and Aston Villa, after isn't that his original stomping ground, Birmingham and those kind of areas there. He'll be all right with that. 32 years of age, he's still got pace. Pep Guardiola said he's always going to have pace, but he's losing other things here and there. Can't play in the back three. But yeah, he'll be happy that I think if it does develop into something real, I think it'll be a good move for Kyle Walker. Considering the age that he's at the moment. Chelsea are set to sign 15-year-old Colombian midfielder Kendry Paez, who will join the club in 2025 when he's 18. Here we go, another young talent that they're going to sign. And I mean, look, it's Chelsea just signed every young G in the world, and then they don't know what to do with them. They actually do not know what to do with them. Let's have a look what we got in terms of other sources and other outlets. Yeah, this was something that I saw as well earlier. And look, Mikel Arteta being linked to other clubs, I can't see it, man. I honestly can't see it. I don't know if you guys feel different, think different. I think this is always going to happen when you're having a good, productive season. It happens in all industries and all walks of life. If you're being super productive and you have output and you're doing amazing in the job that you of course you're going to be wanted. Of course you're going to be on demand. You're going to PSG are linked, or Real Madrid want him, or Bayern Munich are looking at him as an alternative. You're going to come across these reports, but I think Mikel Arteta is a man of honor, a man of dignity, and he will want to see out his contract. He will want to see out this project, this process that he calls together with Edu and everyone involved. I just can't see. Maybe when he achieves something tangible with Arsenal, then yes, then he could, because he is ambitious. And we know that at the end of the day, Mikel Arteta is Spanish. You could potentially have a situation where one of these elite Spanish teams comes in for him in a few years' time, considering, let's assume we win the Premier League. And imagine we win the Premier League this season, go far in the Champions League next season, win an FA Cup, or maybe even defend the league. Like, imagine that. Like, he's definitely going to be looking at them potentially, evolving and growing more in his career. But only then. Right now, nothing's achieved, man. Nothing's done. Of course, he's won an FA Cup, and that's great. That's fantastic. FA Cup is going to be a nice one on the cake, even though it's in the past. If we win the league, we're going to attribute that FA Cup. He's won a league title. He's won an FA Cup. Are you mad? That's elite levels. And this is why people are kind of like having different conversations about Mikel Arteta. I remember a few months back, a good number of months back, Mikel Arteta was considered one of the worst managers in the league, in the Premier. Now he's considered one of the best. Like, just how quickly things can change. But I wouldn't be too worried about links to other clubs at the moment. In this moment in time, I'll be real. Enrique was ready to join Blues, disappointed with Lampard's appointment. Luis Enrique was prepared to join Chelsea immediately and was left disappointed when Frank Lampard took charge. Todd Bowley's at the forefront of this. Todd Bowley's making mistake off a mistake. Todd Bowley's looking at social media, reacting to social media, into engaging with fans, engaging with people who are not in the know, and give an opinion based on their emotion and based on their calculus, but they don't have the full picture of it. And Todd Bowley's actually, he's in these spaces, and bro, what was he thinking? Just Listen, no disrespect to Frank Lampard. He was one of the best players I've ever witnessed in my entire life with my own two eyes. But I just feel as though that was a horrible appointment. Incredible, incredible. He Lampard was probably the worst guy to try to get some sort of response and try to get some sort of you know reaction out of those Chelsea guys. And now I'm hearing he's going into changing rooms and doing all of these mad speeches and asking uncomfortable questions to these players. These players are not babies, they're not kids, you know. A lot of them are young, but they're adults. Anyways, let me move forward. Liverpool urged to sign Phillips. Tony Cascarino has urged Liverpool to sign Man City midfielder Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, in terms of listen, he's a good player. He's a very good player, and he's a player that essentially, we know he's much better than what we've seen. Injuries, moving to City, he's always going to be second fiddle, third fiddle, fourth fiddle. Get back to a club that's going to appreciate the way you play football. It's going to give you minutes. And if that club is going to be Liverpool, then so be it, my boy. English player. We know Liverpool, they love their English players. They love their English talent. And yeah, he won't be nowhere near the levels and the eliteness of Jude Bellingham. But I think he'll be a good signing for Liverpool. I honestly do. I honestly do. Osimhen deals blows to suitors. Napoli hitman Victor Osimhen has dealt suitors a blow by declaring he's already at one of the biggest clubs. Wow, okay. Osimhen has netted 21 goals in 24 league games this term. The Nigerian international has also scored 4 goals in 5 Champions League outings. How could in one interview you say you've dreamed to play in the Premier League, and then, on the other hand, you're saying you're already one of the top clubs? No one said you're not in the top club. Napoli is a top European club. It's a club with history. It's a club well respected across the European football sphere. I mean, I don't understand, but he's waffling. Like, Osimhen is one of them players where the agent is going to try to close that bag down, close that contract down for the most highest bidders, and he will move. He'll move into a top club because he's a top player, and he's going to play at a more premium sort of type of, or more elite playing. Better prepared, better equipped club to win major trophies than Napoli. Not to say Napoli can't win major trophies. I'm sure they could probably do it. And if there is a year, it will be this year. And they've done fantastically well with him driving them. But when you speak about Real Madrid's and when you speak about Bayern Munich's and PSG's, that's just a natural progression. For players such as Osimhen, they will go to those more elite sort of historical clubs. Elise is turning down Arsenal moves. Elise is doing a Vardy. This was interesting as well. Michael Elise reportedly set to turn down a move to Arsenal as he has plans to stay at Crystal Palace next season. Look, ultimately, I don't know if he's a Palace fan through and through. If he wants to stay, then I'm sure he's having an educated decision in terms of him wanting to play football. He knows it's going to be extremely unlikely that he has a starting berth, as you see him having for Crystal Palace. He won't have a starting berth for Arsenal. Who's he going to bench and who's he going to play over? So he's probably deciding, you know what? Okay, I'll stay here. Uncle Roy, I can learn a lot with Uncle Roy, and I'm Kushti. I'm all right. I'm all right over here in Palace, and I agree. I just don't think, we'll use him as a squad player, as I said previously in one of my videos, but for him to have any prospects of playing internationally regularly for his international country and, making sure that he continues to evolve, I think he needs to play football, and I think Palace is the best platform for him to be in and make that happen. Glazers confident of Man United's stay. This is madness. The Glazers are increasingly confident of securing the outside investment that will enable them to remain as Manchester United owners. Oh my goodness gracious. This just turns from bad to... This is Manchester United, and I can see why people are calling it Manchester United, and it's trending Manchester United, because we've gone through this. Believe you me, Man United fans, we've gone through this. I'm telling you, man. Back and forth. This one's bidding. That one's thinking. This one's deciding. That one's there. Usman over here and Kroenke's there. Listen, it was mad. Looks like the Glazers are on the same thing. Horrible. The fact that they've got no ambition to win and truly win in Manchester United fashion, and truly win how Manchester United, how a club like Manchester United should be winning. If they end up remaining owners and not selling the club, all of this hype, all of this Ratcliffe and oil dons was it Qatar Dons or whoever they were, like it would have been for nothing. It would have all been waffle after waffle after waffle, and we will definitely have to talk about that. We will definitely have to sit down and dissect it. But it doesn't look like there's any breakthrough imminent or any, as they say, light at the end of the tunnel. Sky News reported that Carlisle is among a handful of parties that have pitched proposals to acquire a minority stake in Old Trafford outfit. Carlisle being the latest party to come in and try to create make bids and create some sort of twist to buy the club. A bid deadline of April 28th has been set by the Rain Group, the merchant bank handling the sale, and which oversaw last year's 2.5 billion takeover of Chelsea by a consortium led by Toll Bowley. And yeah, so look, April 28th, where are we? April 18th. You've got little under, just little over two weeks. It is less than 2 weeks to get this club sold. And does it look like it's going to happen? I don't think so. Manchester United fans, please, if you are here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts and feelings, man. How are you guys going to react to this, digest this? How are you guys going to process this if the Glazers stay in charge? Whose head needs to roll? What needs to happen? What do the Glazers need to come out and say that will galvanize or revitalize or revive? I mean, I don't know. Chelsea met Nagelsmann for talks. Yeah, so look, I think this is probably going to be the one first good thing that he's going to do, which is to have a chat with a really good manager, a really sick coach, young coach, bright ideas, full of drive, full of energy. We've seen his work. We've seen it at Leipzig. We've seen it at Bayern Munich. To be honest with you, I'm actually confused still to this day why Bayern Munich. I know it's politics, but to actually make the decision to get rid of him, and look how that destabilized Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich had Nagelsmann, they would never, under any circumstances, suffer that defeat against Man City the way they did. No way. He would have never allowed that. No effing way. I'll tell you that for free. But they got Tuchel in. He hasn't had time to work with the players and do the things that he needs to do with them, and they want they want miracles. They want Bayern Munich to just remain the fluent, crisp, efficient Bayern Munich. It doesn't work like that. Let's have a look. Arsenal captain Little signs new contract after injury setback. Arsenal women captain Kim Little has signed a new contract with the club after being ruled out for the rest of the season due to a hamstring. Of course, this is a positive. The 32-year-old former Scotland international was forced off 12 minutes into Arsenal's Champions League match over Bayern Munich, March 29. So yeah, a bit of Arsenal ladies in news. Kim Little looks like she will be remaining in the Arsenal colours by signing a contract renewal. I've mentioned this already in terms of Gundogan joining Barcelona. It's gonna happen. It's being spoken about more regularly, more consistently, and they're gonna do a mad one on Man City. Man City will replace him, of course. Man City always do. Pep Guardiola probably already has a replacement penciled in. Another 50, 60 million pound Gundogan replacement incoming, I'm sure. Barca step up bid to bring back Messi. Now, as you can see here, this is relatively very recent, fresh news. 3 hours ago, Barcelona stepping up their efforts to make Lionel Messi contract offer this summer by talking to the Liga about generating more flexibility in their financial fair play ratio. The club are in talks to with the league regarding the league being obviously the Liga regarding their spending limits for next season, with the idea of firmly in mind to try to bring Messi back to the new camp and to the Liga for what is likely his last year in European football. It will not be easy, however, with Barca having been charged by La Liga for breaching their limit with 3 players during the previous season, excluding ex-Chelsea defender Andreas Christensen, and forced to re-register Gavi as an academy player. That's mad. They had to re-register him as an academy player. That's crazy. Messi's going to end up back at Barca. What do you think? Write down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your feelings. Listen, this one here, though, again, as you guys know, I've been reporting on this, and I've more or less had insights, and, a few of my friends agreed with me, and they kind of highlighted that Mane's future at Bayern, it just looks untenable. It just looks like they are going to kind of turn their backs into him. Tuchel's come out defending the guy, and I love that. I'm so happy There's people defending him because there's always two sides to a story. Look, as I've mentioned previously, nothing justifies violence. Nothing justifies attacking physically a teammate, a member of family, a friend, a foe, a stranger, a fellow human being. However, we don't know the context and the full story. So I'm not here to judge. I haven't judged. I'm literally just saying to myself, raw, like, this is crazy. What's happening here? And it looks like it's getting crazier. Why? Because Sky Sports in Germany, they are reporting that the fallout from Sadio Mane's altercation with Leroy Sané, it's getting worse, and players are starting to distance themselves from him, and it's becoming a bit untenable in that sense. And it was always going to happen because I just don't think he's had a good time there. I just don't think Sadio Mane doesn't strike me the type of guy that goes out of his way to make friends. He's there to do a job. He's there to do what he needs to do in terms of what he's paid for, and that is it. If you're cool with him and you roll with him and you don't have a great relationship in terms of on the pitch, then fair play. That's amazing. But if that's not the case, then it doesn't look like he's the type of guy that he's gonna friends and roll together and best buddies. No, 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 no. And probably him and Sonny, they wasn't nowhere near as close as someone thought. And he just listen, it's crazy, but I think money can get him another good contract. He can get himself, even at the age that he's in, I think he's 31, he can still get himself a good contract elsewhere at a good club, at a big club. But it remains to be seen. But I think we will see him leave Bayern Munich, unfortunately, this summer. It hasn't worked out for him. Let's have a look through Twitter. Just going to quickly navigate, see what's trending. I'm sure you guys would have already come across the news that your boy William Saliba is back in training with the boy Mo El Neni, as you can see here. This is creating quite a stir on the Twitter sphere, of course. We need him back, man. We need Willy boy back. We need Willy. And I think Willy has been, as I've mentioned previously in my reaction video to the West Ham draw, he's the difference. He's just that difference. When you have Gabriel receiving the ball at the back end, in the back, and then he looks across, he passes the ball to William Saliba. William Saliba normally comes a little bit forward, looks around, he's just able to make that forward pass. And even if he knows he's going to receive the ball back, immediately he's already got his eye on the other pass. He already knows what to do. It's all a bit too natural for him. It's all natural for him. Where Rob Holding just, it's just the way he's positioned, the way he walks, runs, jogs. You don't really get a lot of confidence. And Rob Holding's improved a lot. Don't get me wrong. He has improved in an incredible amount by training with better players and training with, a different philosophy and things that Mikel was telling the rest of the squad he's actually learning from as well, and he's picking up as well. But look, we need him, man. We need this guy, and if we can get him back for the City game, then fair play. I think he should be all right. I mean, I can't see. He's walking, running, he's jogging. Look, he's in the treadmills, he's in the bicycles. How if he's feeling pain or bro, man's gonna deep heat that. Come the Etihad game, and we're rolling. We're rolling. I don't care. We need you. We really, really need you. Of course, let me also bring you the news. Of course, just quickly touching up on the games that are coming up tonight, guys. As you know, this is Champions League night. Chelsea v Real Madrid. Woy. It's going to be a Chazzaline. Saying that Chelsea are currently broken is a bit much. Says interim manager Frank Lampard. So what is it then? If you're not broken, then what is it? Because from where we're standing and from what we're looking at, it looks like you lot are broken. Do you know what I mean? Like, you was all gassed up and hyped up about the first leg, got slapped. Okay, it wasn't, annihilation, but you got slapped. It is what it is. You didn't score a goal, and you got a mountain to climb, and you sit 11th in the table with a horrible run of form, 39. I think it's broken. I think Chelsea could be. I think the worst position I've seen Chelsea finish in was 10th a few years back, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. But yeah, that's broken to me. I mean, I remember when we were 15th in the table, and I was like, we're finished. We're getting relegated. Mikel Arteta, this was his lowest point when we were that far down the table. We couldn't win a game to save our lives. But yeah, man, look, I can't see anything other than a comfortable Real Madrid aggregate victory and closing it out, making themselves or putting themselves through to the semi-finals. And in regards to Napoli and AC Milan, obviously now Napoli's at home. Napoli have it all to do, not as a tall as a mountain to climb as Chelsea have, and I think Napoli can do it. I think we can see, we will see Napoli go through to the semi-finals. I think they had a blip in the first leg, but they take the second leg with a 1-goal deficit, but they're at home, and I think they'll be able to intimidate the AC Milan players enough at their ground to be able to create chances and put them away confidently. But I could be wrong. But in terms of predictions for these games today, is for Real Madrid to go through, 2 goals, 2-0 against Chelsea at home. And I just can't see Chelsea scoring. They cannot score to save their lives. They're not going to score against Real Madrid. I just can't see it. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? After getting a rollicking from Todd Bowley, we clearly can tell that Lampard has no effect on them. Let's see if Todd Bowley has any effect on them. And yeah, for the Napoli game, I could see a 2-1 finishing game. So Napoli going through 2-1 on aggregate. And that's my prediction for the Champions League matches tonight. Let's get back to Twitter sphere. So yeah, William Saliba, man, he's out here, man. He's out here, people. It's not all over yet. It's not all over yet. I promise y'all. We can still do things, but we need to respond, and we need to, man, we need a mean streak. We need to be mean. The Invincibles were mean. You lot are being too nice. Like I need to stop. I need to start seeing certain things I just want to see at all times. When the ref stops the game, don't make these opposition players grab the ball and we start when we can. Bro, dude, like you don't need to be arseholes on the pitch now. And you need to be efficient, and you need to be elite, and you need to be firing all cylinders, bro. You need to play with so much confidence, lads, that it's gushing out your mouth. Confidence, with not cocky, confidence, not being complacent, but just being focused and being laser sharp and laser reactive and productive. And say to yourselves, a game is not won unless we have got 3 goals and a clean sheet, or 3 goals and above. Like, just say those things to yourself. Remain ambitious, because it's nearly there, but we're letting it slip away from my hands again. And this is what I was saying in my last video. I've seen this too many times, bro. Top four. It comes to February, March, April, we just crumble. February, March, April, crumble. February, crumble. March, crumble. December, crumble. Like, we cannot allow ourselves to slowly crumble. We're hanging on. But what's more negative than a draw? A defeat. We must respond. Saka, my boy, I love you to bits. We love you. We are fully behind you each and every single time. You are a star boy. You will remain a star boy. Lift your head up, my boy. I'm telling you, man. Come Friday, 8 o'clock, you're going to see the Arsenal faithful support you. We want you to be on the score sheet. I want you to score 2 goals. That penalty is going to be history, and we move, people. Listen, let me get out of here. That was just to bring you guys some transfer gossip, some daily view transfer gossip, and I haven't made one of these in a couple of days, so I thought I'll come on here quickly and just give you guys my perspective on what I feel as though is due to happen, or due to actually go ahead in terms of transfers and not. And just to touch base a little bit on all things towards Arsenal and the Premier League. But I'll leave it here. We've been going for 33 minutes. Please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel as always, guys. Please share. Please press the bell notifications as well. I need to start adding that one into the comments. Press the bell notifications as well, my people. Peace and love. I love you all. Bye. Peace.